Here we are with our second Corian round that we're going to make into a colorful and artistic trivet. The colors I'm using are going to be sort of blue based. This is my base. I'm going to do like another split base. This is really a completely made color. It looks like it's black, and it's going to dry almost like it's black because, as you know, the paints always dry darker, but it's extremely dark, but it has like a green hint. And then I'm going to use some of this, and I'm going to use some of that, and I'll put all of these in the description. Some more pink again. Obviously, I'll be doing white on the other side of the split, and I also have some greenish blue as well. That's Amsterdam, not greenish blue, I'm sorry, turquoise green. And I have a little Prussian blue, but I am not entirely sure if I'm going to use it because we already have a dark base. Also, I'm using up the colors again, which is always good. I'm always happy when I can do that. I try to mix enough so that I always have enough to complete a project, and so what that means is I end up with lots of little leftover dessert cups of colors. So I am using up, I did not mix anything for this other than combining those blues and the blue and the black together. Okay. I just hit it with the hair dryer. This is looking great. I don't know if I'm going to do much with this. I'm certainly not going to mess with it. Definitely need to even out this white up here because I thought I'd be going over the edge there. Oh, this is so pretty. Here we are with the dry results. This came out so good. So I actually finished painting this, and the first part of the video that you just watched was a week ago. It's a full week later. I actually went away for a few days to visit my sister and her husband and her adorable son Dean, my nephew, in Texas, and we did some fluid art together. She wanted me to show her how to do it. I sent a bunch of paints ahead of time and some different implements and such, and we had a little fun together. There is, a bit of video there. It's not every second of every painting because I was trying to really give guidance and just be in the moment. But I do believe there is enough video there to put together a cute little video, which I will do and put on the channel. So that's where I've been. This is now dry, and I have to say it is like really awesome. Like there's areas of this, and I don't know if I'll get it too blurry or not, but look at that area. Like that's the closest thing to like a bloom looking section that I've ever gotten in my paintings. It's so cool. And the copper really added such a great addition to this. And so that's the dry results of this piece. Now, as I mentioned, there are two pieces, and I'm going to create them into both be trivets or hot plates, and that involves resining, and I am going to do an additional video for the resining. So I do want to do a few touch-ups on this piece. The blue here is good because I did add some black to it, so it's not really transparent. So it is pretty good coverage in the areas. The white area up here could use just a little touch-up. So this will get touched up, as will the other piece, which has some transparency happening down here in this color. So I'll be just touching that up a little, and there's a little bit of the white up here which just got a little dirty or something. I don't know, but I'm going to touch that up so it looks nice and uniform. And then the two items are going to get resined. So what I want to do is just really quickly, the resin video will be a separate video. I do want to really quickly talk about prepping a piece for resin. And this is something you want to do either before you paint or definitely before you resin, and it's entirely up to you. And the reason I say it could be either is because if you are someone who feels that the back of your painting is another bit of the art and you don't like to tape off your canvases, then go for it. Paint away. That is entirely your prerogative. What I will suggest to you, though, is that if you're going to resin, tape is needed, and I'll tell you why. When you paint and you get drips, we scrape those drips in order to maintain our design, as well as just keep it from pulling over. So we scrape our drips when we paint. That's fine. You can either do that with or without tape. When you resin, however, drips come over the side, and they do not they're not scrapable, in the sense that you can scrape them and then they will come right back. Whereas when you're painting, if you scrape a drip, come back a few minutes later, scrape around again, maybe even a couple minutes later, do it a third time, that's pretty much it. You're no longer going to have basically what looks like icicles forming at the bottom of your piece. However, with resin, you will absolutely have that. There is almost no way to avoid it. So when you are resining, you can scrape here and there, but you will not avoid the icicle looking drips from coming down the bottom of your piece. Well, you say, okay, that's fine. Well, it'll come off. Well, if you don't tape, getting those off, and they'll be thick. They'll be thick drips hanging from the bottom of your piece. If you don't tape, getting those off will be a bit of an ordeal. It's going to involve a heat gun and some scraping and some sanding and a bunch of stuff. But when you tape, the drips mostly stick to that tape. And what that allows you to do is heat up the drips on the tape and peel the tape, and off the drips come with the tape. It leaves you with a much cleaner surround to your piece, whether square, rectangular, circle, and it allows you to much easier remove the excess resin from the bottom. So again, I just tape right from the beginning, but if you did a piece and it's totally dry and now you've decided you wanted to resin it and it didn't have any tape, go back and put some tape on it, so that when you are done with the resin, it's much, much easier to pull those drips off of your piece. Okay, so that's it for today. I am going to go ahead and do the touch-ups I talked about on both of these pieces, and that's the end of today's video, and we will be back with the resining video, which will most likely I will be recording this weekend. It's Thursday. No, sorry, it's Wednesday. I will most likely get to doing the resining over the weekend. I can edit it and get it out probably sometime next week. So thanks for being with me tonight. Come back and paint with me again.